That 6'4" receding hairline, moustache, and tiny penis.
6'5", a beard, a receding hairline, and a tiny penis. Just can't get it up. All right. He's all right. You all right?
I'm all right. When do we go?
I don't know. Hello to the one person that might watch it, Mum. You all right? As you know, I'm Max. This is also Max, and this is episode 1 of the Parts and Labour podcast. Probably will be a one of one. Hopefully not, but we'll kind of see where we go.
No, it'd be more than one.
More than one.
More than one.
More than one. Yeah. But yeah, in terms of what Parts and Labour podcast is, or what Parts and Labour is if you followed Parts and Labour from the start, you know that we're a print magazine, zine, probably magazine is probably a bit much of a flex with how little pages we actually stick in there. But we thought we'd try something else and bring something a bit more frequent than what I can produce as magazine single-handedly. So that's why we're here, really.
And not get distracted.
Maybe not get distracted. We definitely weren't before this started. So obviously I'm Max. Founded Parts and Labour, came from a long love of mountain bike magazines and always wanted to do a magazine and car photography. If some of you have ever followed me on 17th Victim, so kind of progressed into what this is. But yeah, I mean,
and what it will become.
What it will become. So obviously, yeah, I'm glad you're on board, Max.
Yeah,
two Maxes, but
two Maxes.
Tell the people about you.
About me. I don't know. Had a lot of cars. Very interested in them. Been to events. Very interested in your work, and was just excited to get on board and see where it goes.
Awesome. It'll go somewhere.
It will.
I hope.
Don't know
down.
Don't know where. It might go down before it goes up.
Yeah, that's it. But you got to start somewhere, haven't we? For sure. So I thought maybe we could start off with a couple of hot takes, opinions that you might have that other people might not necessarily agree with. So.
Without offending too many people, it's very difficult.
But that's it. If they get offended, they get offended.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
We can get offended later.
Don't really care. That's the whole point. Parts and Labour is supposed to be different, not to be different. But I tell you what, my hot take would be is too many people thinking STs are a good model at all. I know they've got stigma about, they're chavvy and whatever, but that's because they are. And everyone, I fucking hate them.
And if you put a pop and bang map on your ST, you're as basic as the next person who put a pop and bang map on their ST.
Unpopular opinion, if you've got an ST or a Ford,
turn off now.
After 1971, I'm not interested. I mean, what's your takes?
Things air ride.
What specifically?
Massive stigma around air ride. Like, if you want a show car, you got to have it. Don't agree.
Okay,
and air ride on performance vehicles. I'm not saying like 500 horsepower, but I'm saying like if you've got an ST.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they are very fast, but if you're going to put bags on a car, why are you putting it on the best performance model you can buy when it's built and designed to do something completely different?
True, but then I guess on the flip side to that is also, why are you buying a car that you can't drive on a track?
True. I mean, a lot of modern cars now that you do get like GTIs and Rs and that sort of stuff, they do come with a lap timer in them, which I think is hilarious.
This is true, because you're never going to go and do it, and everyone's driving around with that never been track.
Maybe we will be.
Maybe. Parts and Labour trip to the Nürburgring in a Civic with a flat battery.
And a Corrado with an water leak. And an oil leak. It's not leaking oil, it's sweating power.
But yeah, in terms of air, I disagree. I would 100% stick air on it.
I'm not saying I don't like air ride as a
whole.
As a whole, I'm saying that it's finding the right car to put it on, and it doesn't belong on everything.
One of the best cars I ever fell in love with, though, was a 911 GT3 with a Hell Bunny body kit on it, and that thing looked absolutely wild.
It's been built to be a show car. There's a difference between building a show car and putting bags on your Golf R because you think you're cool. You know what I mean? It's not.
But
I don't see bags as a flex. I know Air Ride stereotypically is a darn sight more expensive than eBay special coilovers, which, let's face it,
everyone's
everyone loves.
favourite. Everyone's been there.
Everyone's gone, bought a car, what do I need? Coilovers, wheels, and I need all of my cats, silencers and resonators taken out. I need a straight pipe Corsa on its ass with aftermarket wheels that were 50 quid off Facebook Marketplace. Most people have been there, and I just think there's a massive thing about, if you want a show car, you've got to have Air Ride.
Yeah, I mean, that probably leads on to another topic that I would say is shows are 90% air these days.
Finance whips, bags and wheels. If you want a show car, that's your criteria. You can fill it in a week, give it all to the bank, they'll pay for it. Ideal. Or unless you're sponsored by mummy and daddy, bank and mum and dad.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just feel that...
I don't disagree with people that whose parents pay for their stuff. Like, if you've got rich parents, you've got rich parents. If you don't, you don't. Everyone finds a way to get what they want eventually.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Do you feel that, like, there's a lack of originality these days in the modified
UK,
scene,
yes.
or in the UK?
In the UK, definitely.
Who's doing it better?
Yanks.
Yeah?
Yanks have got some nice cars. I mean, alright, everyone needs a Hemi in it, but if you haven't got a Hemi, you ain't cool. Or unless it's got LS, or, you know, there's lots of... Depending on where you live in the world, everything's different, isn't it? If you live in Japan, you've got a drift car.
True.
If you live in Germany, you're pretty knackered, whatever you want.
Performance, isn't it? It's performance and it's clean.
It's got to be all TIV approved, which, that's another good point. I do think that should be something that's carried out throughout everything, things that are TIV approved.
Right.
Parts that are approved, you get a lot of cheap Chinese special parts.
Yeah.
They get problems after 5 minutes, aftermarket alloys that break after 1,000 miles. Like, I do think that you shouldn't be allowed to put stuff on your car that isn't tested and approved
To
by...
a certain level and stuff like that. No, I get that for sure.
I mean, if you want to compete in motorsport, there's certain classifications that you've got to meet, whether it's a roll cage or you've got to wear a helmet or a harness, or why should the road be any different?
Yeah. If you're going to modify a car to not be what it was obviously
Designed to
technically designed for and stuff like that, then yeah, it makes sense to have approved, regulated parts at least.
I'm not saying that everyone would agree with that, but... And I'm not saying
I'm
not saying that everything should be legal, like, we all know someone with a DCAT.
Yeah.
Let's face it, it's not legal, but
Only when it comes to MOT.
that's what the £50 air MOTs are for. Can I get an MOT? 50 quid over the phone? Ideal.
The pigeon MOT.
Send the carrier pigeon down with a £50 note.
That's it. I don't know, I don't want anyone to think that we're just fucking two grumpy old men whinging about Fiesta STs and pop and bang maps.
Well, I wouldn't say I was old, but... Not yet.
No, that's fair. You're not any thieves, yeah.
I mean, we all have a rowdy car meet as well. And I think that's where a lot of the disliked cars come into their element. There's always someone in a Corsa or a Polo doing a burnout with 30 of their mates holding their car back. And there's always an ST popping and banging.
And it's always front wheel drive.
And it's always from... you never get people that are just, I don't want to get involved. Everyone loves a rowdy car meet.
Yeah. What was that? Did you see that one down in Weymouth last summer? I think it was, in the pavilion.
with a smart car?
Yeah, and it got wedged, didn't it, in between the pedestrian barrier and the wall.
Yeah, add picture here.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many drivers out there that could ace that manoeuvre as well as that young girl did. Put this car here. Okay.
She flicked it, yeah, for sure.
Right. Where's the best meet you've been to? Where's your one memory you have that's really sticks with you?
What, from a car meet?
Yeah.
Probably Swansea Bay, 2000 and... I'm going to show my age here, like 8.
Yeah.
2008. I had a Mark II bread van.
I wasn't even driving then.
That's insane. I had a Mark II bread van. Nitro Morse bonnet, so I stripped all the paint off it. Natural rust.
Patina.
If you want to call it that, it's rust. that's the look I wanted, and it was rust. Spray painted a luminous green Steelies on standard springs, like 16-inch Steelies, so it was like 4 foot off the wheel, and a Monster Energy sticker on the back window. That it was hideous, mate. It was.
Have you got a picture of this bread van we can pull up?
Yeah,
Let's pull it up.
I could find a picture of it. Might even be on my thing now. I'll try and find it. So we drove it to Swansea from where I'm from in Pembroke Dock. Drove it all the way there. Got it there, and I thought, oh God, there's a lot of water coming out of this. It must be quite hot. No, it was the full tank of petrol. I'd bust a hole in it, and it was just leaking all over Swansea Bay.
So immediately you thought it'd be a great idea to try and recreate a scene from Back to the Future.
Pretty much.
Set it on fire and do a quick edit.
I wasn't even taking pictures back then. Wasn't even doing anything. I think the phone I had back then, just to age it, was a Nokia N900, if you remember them. It was full, like, smartphone size. You flipped it up, turned it around, and had a full keyboard.
I do remember those.
Yeah,
Just
awesome. So that was probably one of my most memorable moments from the car scene, for personal reasons, more than anything. What about you?
For me, I don't know. I've been to a lot. I've been to I've been to Wales before. Well, obviously, where you've been to yours, not necessarily the same place. We've been Cheddar Gorge, always a good one.
Yeah.
We've been all over the place. There's nothing that really stands out. I mean, well, actually, there is one that stands out. Holes Bay. Paul, a few years ago, the last Holes Bay shutdown meet.
Okay.
With police vans, helicopters, and just all sorts of erratic, stupid but amazing behaviour.
Really?
From some absolute legendary people.
God.
The reason that Holes Bay car park in Poole now has cameras.
Is it what from that one
Yeah.
meet? Was it that bad?
It was so bad. The last proper Holes Bay shutdown. I mean, Holes Bay was always a good one for us when they first started, sort of when we started getting into car shows and taking your old 90s rusty shitbox to car meets to look at other cars that are 100% better than yours. Yeah, they got from nothing to full-blown police turning up in about 20 minutes.
Really, that quick?
Yeah.
It's just go wild, don't they?
Nothing like what you see on films and stuff. It's just being British, isn't it?
The good old British mentality, just flat out.
You said you weren't taking photographs back when you went to your one meet you can remember. So where did that start?
Taking pictures of cars. It did start around that time. That was the reason why I got into it. But
Was it cars you started with?
No, it was people. I was really into shooting people in like college and stuff. I was doing
You definitely can't say that.
shooting people.
Definitely can't say that.
Right, shooting portraits. I was shooting portraits a lot in school, and like grew up BMXing and skateboarding, so I was always shooting that kind of stuff. I used to do a lot of dirt surfing. If you've ever seen what one of them are, if you haven't, look them up. They're wild. 20-inch BMX wheels on like a surfboard shape, but the front wheel's on an axle, and it just swings left and right, and you just strap in and you just go for it. Wild. So that was kind of where I started shooting pictures from. And then, cars was just a natural progression from there. There was always me and my mate Nathan were always the Volkswagen boys, but we were always surrounded by a lot of Ford boys. I think that might be where my disdain for them came from. But they were cool cars, to be fair. There was lots of old Cosworths, Sierra Cosworths, RSs. One of them had a Nissan Pulsar GTI. I think it's this one. Yeah. So there was lots of cool cars around with the locals that I used to hang out with. So cars just became like a natural progression, and going to car show, you just put your camera up more and more, and it just always kind of evolved in there. So really, I've been shooting cars for 13 years. Yeah, probably about 13, 14 years, probably shooting cars.
And obviously, Parts of Labour stemmed from.
Parts and Labour is a weird one. It did stem from there, but Parts and Labour was a want. I've always wanted to produce a magazine. So when I used to grow up, I was also massive into mountain biking. There used to be this one mountain bike magazine called Dirt, and I was obsessed with it. I had like every subscriptions for it all the time. But that was the reason why I got into graphic design at college as well, was because of that magazine. I always knew I wanted to build a magazine of some kind. And then with the way Instagram and stuff like that had been lately, algorithm changes, no one's seen anything like that. It just made me really think that there's something missing now. What is it? And it's something you can just physically hold. I mean, like, just look at you there. The bookcase next to you shows how much I'm into that physical media that you can see. So it really came from that. And it was like, well, I want to make a magazine, but what can it be about? Oh, well, 17th Victim, I'm doing loads of car photography, talking to all these car brand owners and stuff.
Let's blend them and make it.
Yeah, there was no better time. It was just a real natural thing. And then Tom from Macchia was our first guest on there, which I really appreciate the support on there. And we got going on a, to be honest, 13-page pamphlet on absolute shocking quality, with terrible graphic design in there. So I think the last 2 issues from there is the production value or the quality has gone up a lot, at least. But I mean, we've gone from 13 pages to the latest issue being like 65. So that's where it came from. It was just a natural progression. I know 12 months ago I never really had any idea of it, but I basically it came from us getting sick of Instagram, working in social media and always being on there and stuff. I need something else to consume media that I enjoy, so it was a natural progression to do that.
Not expect to see. What would people see if they went onto your Instagram now?
If anyone expects anything from me, I feel real sorry for them. If you went on Parts and Labour's Instagram, you'd see a lot of stuff that's either already been in previous issues that we're now kind of, rolling out because you don't want to leak them before, etc. Because that's the whole point of the magazine, is to see the new stuff before and physically feel it and stuff before you even saw it on Instagram. If you went on my alter ego, I guess, 17th Victim, that's kind of gone through a massive overhaul recently where it's completely deleted. It's now just random
Personal
shit.
stuff.
Yeah, I just didn't need to run 2 accounts that nearly merged that were the same thing. So I've merged them together into just what Parts and Labour is. So.
And what is Parts and Labour going to be? What if you could, if money wasn't an issue, where would you take it? Where do you want it to go? Where do we want it to go?
Where do we want it to go? That's a good question.
Where are we going to take it?
I definitely never want to give up on physical media. That's something that is the backbone of Parts and Labour, whether we continue to attempt bi-monthly. So far we've done pretty good, but for anyone that's waiting for issue 4, I'll get to it.
That's not my fault.
I promise I will get there. Life's been pretty mad at the minute, so it is in the works. We know what we've got for it, but in terms of the bigger plan for Parts and Labour is to start producing more content like this, YouTube videos, more consumable media that's outside of just photography and car shows. I think car shows are great. There's a lot going on there, but I don't feel there's enough of a variety that A, not everyone else is already doing, or B, there's a click to it all. Parts and Labour is always and will be, and this is very much part of me, is in a circle but on the outside of it. That's always the way I've always been, and I'll just do it the way I want to do it on it. So it's going to be a mixed barrel.
And a learning curve, big learning curve.
Massive learning curve, but obviously with you and stuff, eventually we'll start doing more YouTube videos, more vlog style content, drift days out, to events and things like that. But yeah, the next big thing for me is to just focus on more content like this alongside the print side of things. Just one thing I'll never want to give up on. But it's been difficult in the sense that I've been quite stubborn in the fact that I've never let anyone sponsor it. So that
Maybe that's something that will become in time.
maybe I think at the minute it's more of a pride thing in the fact that I work in the marketing social industry as it is anyway. I see sponsored everything, so Parts and Labour was very much just a place where it was for the people, by the people almost, if that makes sense. And the adverts you do see in there, Daybreak Coffee, Macchia, Broken Alloy, Poor Boys World, they're friends of mine, and I've asked them to be in there. It's
Chosen by you rather than people are approaching you saying
exactly that. And people have offered to put money down for a page and stuff like that on it, but there's never, no money has ever been taken. And that's one thing that I know, if you want that side of things to go, it probably has to change, but at the minute I'm quite happy.
And at least if you do have businesses approach you, you can pick and choose who you want. You don't have to.
Yeah, that's it. That's one thing I will.
If you went through 3 issues with no sponsors, it's not going to bother you because you'd rather have people you want.
Yeah, exactly that.
And things that would appeal to the sort of people you sort of going for rather than everyone. You know what I mean? You don't just want good ones like Performance Volkswagen. They've always got Volkswagen Heritage page.
Yeah.
Like, all right, everyone likes an old Volkswagen, and like maybe you don't. You might be into Jap cars, but there's always a 2-page spread, and I feel it's wasted space.
Yeah.
You could fill that with so much more content.
Yeah. Or you just not have two less pages. Doesn't always have to be massive. So yeah, it's one of those things. If someone did ever approach us wanting to put cash into it, I would never turn the conversation down, but
always entertain possibilities.
Yeah, for sure. But if it wasn't right, there's no way I'd do it. I would close. I would shut it down before I ever let someone tell me what I have to put or I can't put in something. Because you do that so much in your day to day anyway, then you're just going to take away the whole fun of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So
what does issue 4 hold? We know.
We know what's in issue 4. And that's all I'm going to say. Only because that's as far as we actually are with it. I know it's been 6 weeks since issue 3 came out, so we really are due issue 4 any minute now. But again, I always said it was bi-monthly, but it's bi-monthly if it's bi-monthly. If it's quarterly, then it will be quarterly. It will get done when it kind of gets done. This time of year, there's so many shows going on, there's so many sets to get through, just gathering all that content, talking to people and stuff like that. But I'll tell you what is in there is that if you like Mark II Golfs, then this might be the issue.
Might be the issue for you.
That you want to pick up. So I know for you especially, might be one that'll tickle your fancy. So.
And obviously you want to try and stay away from the typical like cult following for brands.
Yeah.
As a whole, I take it you don't want to be like only Volkswagens, only Jap cars, only.
There's only one. There's 2 rules to Parts and Labour rules. You want to call them that?
Guidelines.
Yeah, guidelines. They are set in stone. I would never move on.
Rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah.
Guidelines would be a better.
What's the thing that Jesus came and gave everyone? Commandments. Yeah, Parts and Labour commandments. There's only 2 of them. One of them is you'll never see a Ford or an ST in there, and the other one I can't disclose.
Is STs a real hatred for you then?
Yeah, but
is that your number 1 car you wish had never been built?
100%.
Nothing else.
Yeah, just the ST range. Just
bin it.
Anything else, I would literally drive anything
Take
else.
Take it, crumple it in the bin.
Yeah. Because even just a standard Focus is okay. It's just the ST range that I don't know. It just something about it just annoys me. And
is that a childhood trauma? Is that?
I don't know.
Did you once get overtaken by an ST?
I get gapped by STs all the time. That might be what the issue is.
Maybe we just need faster cars. Anyone who can make our cars faster would approve.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I would want a faster car. I love having the Type R, but would you want to go faster in the Corrado?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously on closed roads.
On air.
Not on air. Closed roads probably with a decent suspension setup with the right
Turbo
right
approved.
conditions. Turbo approved.
Yeah, I mean, I can get by them.
What's one car you couldn't live without?
One car I couldn't live without.
What's one car that you feel life wouldn't be the same if it didn't exist?
I don't know.
There's got to be one car for you growing up. There are obviously a lot of kids that were alive in the 80s. So you were probably just alive in the 80s.
No, I wasn't born in the 80s at all. I wasn't born in the 80s at all.
Obviously in the
Not
80s.
that old, I look at it.
A lot of people had your stereotypical, your Lamborghini Countach, your Ferraris, the sort of big poster cars. Mm-hmm. What was the one car that...
To this day, is still my dream car, but I don't know if I could ever own it purely for a sizing issue.
I think we both agree with.
Yeah, is a Mark 1 Golf GTI. So it's not even like massively out of reach expectations, but it has to be a certain way. It has to be slightly lowered, typical BBS wheels, red.
So what you want to do is what everyone else has done.
Yeah, but I want to do it. Yeah, pretty
Just want to do it now.
I just want to do it now, pretty much. That was always my dream car. Outside of that, I guess if you wanted to go performance way, I was a big muscle car kid growing up. My dad was big into muscle cars, so one of the first cars I ever drove was his 71 Mark 1 Mustang, which he swapped an 840 big block 8.2 V8 from a Lincoln Continental into, and then popped nitrous into it. So big power and muscle I've always been around it, but it's never necessarily been quick, if that makes sense. But muscle is definitely, it would probably be, if it wasn't my old man's Mustang, be a Hemi.
Go back to the Hemis.
A Hemi Roadrunner, I think. If you've ever seen the film Joe Dirt,
I think I have.
old school film with David Spade in it, he's got an orange 71 Hemi. I think that might be the dream.
That's the dream.
What about you? What car could you not live without?
Not live without.
Or wouldn't be the same?
I don't know. A lot of what I like comes from 80s and 90s. Obviously, I was born just after mid 90s, so
Yeah.
what I like is maybe a bit too old for people my age. I do like a lot of 80s cars, E30s,
Yeah.
Volkswagens, 80s Volkswagens. I mean, I think it was late 70s,
Okay.
early 80s when Volkswagen actually become what it is today.
Is it like that one you sent me the other day?
Yeah,
What were we talking about?
that would have been 70s.
Right.
That would have been pre Mark 1 Scirocco, I would have thought. An SP2, very rare car.
Yeah.
And Volkswagen have got a lot of history behind them, a lot of people don't know. A lot of the Carman cars, Scirocco's especially, SP2s, not that they were Carman cars, but performance Volkswagens have never really been a big success. I like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I like your one-off rare stuff. Not I don't just like something because it's rare. I like something for not even performance. I like things visually.
Okay.
Everyone loves a bit of performance, but a Volkswagen SP2, there's 4 in the country, and I don't know how many of those are on the road. I've never seen one in person. I like DeLoreans,
Yeah.
purely visual, because let's face it, they don't even do 88 mile an hour.
They're coming back though, aren't they?
They are, hopefully.
The sun that's taking back over them?
I believe so. I think that'll be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully they don't do the old, let's remodel it and make everything round. Definitely don't agree with that. If you're going to bring back a car, it's got to be right, and it's hard to meet that market as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, one car I couldn't live without. Hard to say. One brand I couldn't live without, probably a Volkswagen. Massive.
Yeah.
I don't want people to turn off just because they don't like Volkswagens, but we like all things.
This is true.
Except STs. Not to hate on anyone that's got an ST. It's personal preference at the end of the day. You might not like my car. I won't necessarily like your car.
I've got the most hated Type R out there.
Yeah.
So it's the most despised model of them all. But I like it. I love it.
And that's a good point. Everyone likes something different. Everyone hates something different. I mean, one car I could happily live without. Well,
Go on.
one car that wouldn't change if it never existed.
What's that?
Is it a Fox body Mustang?
I don't know how you can hate a Fox body Mustang.
Is it? I don't know if that's what I'm thinking of. I'm not very up to date with. The whole Mustang thing is they tried to design one for a European market, didn't they?
Yeah, it's definitely the Fox body. It's square.
And I look at it, and it was designed for sort of European, Japanese market. And I was thinking, from someone that's a company that's known for building muscle cars, they built something that looked like a Mazda 3. You know what I mean? I think the world would, and they were very hated. They're worth quite good money now because they were hated so much and no one really bought them.
Yeah.
But I think if it didn't exist, it wouldn't change a lot now.
No,
I mean, there's plenty of cars like that out there. There's plenty of cars that I could sit down and really think about.
But I can't believe it's just not one thing that you just instantly have maybe I'm just a hateful person.
Maybe I'm deep down.
You're too Volkswagen, mate. Too chill.
Too chill. Too relaxed. It's, yeah, man. Cool Volkswagen.
Although to be fair, you like other cars, so you can't be that Volkswagen.
No, but I do own 3.5 Volkswagens.
Go on, mate. Go.
1999 6N pistachio green. The only colour you can have it unless you've got like over 10 grand for a Harlequin. And that's another thing, loads of people don't like them. Harlequins, especially. That's a very niche market. You've got to be just the right mindset to go, a multicoloured car is a good idea. I've got a B3 Passat Estate, which is kind of rotten. That's just savage. And I've got my VR6 Corrado, which is a financial disaster. Anyone that's seen my Instagram will probably realise that it is a financial disaster and should probably have never bought it. And only bought the one before that, which is now a trailer, which comes to the half, is because the spoiler went up.
Okay.
That was the sole reason I bought what is now my trailer, is because the spoiler went up.
Jeez.
It's a stupid reason to buy a car. And only bought it because my Polo that I had drunk a pint and a half of oil from Dorset to Axminster, which is, what, a 45-minute drive.
Jeez.
It drunk more oil than it did petrol. It's basically a two-stroke.
I don't think you know what to say about anything more than 2 strokes in you.
Let's not go down that road today. But, yeah. I've had a lot. And I've got a 1955.
So what's the story with the trailer then?
Trailer.
Was it always going to be a trailer?
Well, the plan was really never to let it get written off, but someone else wrote it off for me. Not someone else, the driver was driving, someone drove on the side of it. And then had to do something with it. You know, I couldn't just send a whole relatively clean shell to a scrapyard. So stripped it, cut it in half, and done something most people that like that sort of car, and especially like Volkswagens, would happily hang me for. At least it wasn't a Storm or a VR6, if anyone knows what those are. If it was one of those, I think I would have...
Or was it just a standard?
It was only Apollo spec, 2 litre,
right.
So not a very desirable car.
But even still, in the Volkswagen elitist group, I bet.
Yeah.
Cost a few.
The biggest thing I've seen is Honda engines and Volkswagens. Honda guys, Volkswagen guys are like fire and ice. Never get on. I've got no problem with putting any engine in any car. My missus got a Mark II Scirocco. I wanted to put a K24 turbo in it, but I was not allowed, apparently, according to social media and the forums. The God forums that all said, no, you're not allowed.
But if it fits.
If it fits, it fits. Even if you've got to cut a lot out to make it fit, it still fits.
You got me thinking now. What could I swap in?
Swap into what?
I don't know, just thinking, buying like a...
Just put an R32 lamp in the Civic. Then you've got the flip side of it.
It's true. It's probably harder to find the R32 lamp though than it is to find...
I've got one.
Something you've got an R32 lamp.
We'll make it fit.
Right, has it got a battery drain on it, because mine has?
No. It's got bent valves, but...
I think we know a place that might be able to fix them.
Probably.
Probably.
Who could potentially be on a later episode. Bring back to what's...
A YouTube series on swapping an R32 lamp
into a FN2 Civic Type R. People would watch it just to hate it.
100%. I'm not even sure I would like it.
You just have it for the noise. You drive it and think, I feel like I'm in a Golf.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like a Golf though.
That's another thing maybe we could do if people want it.
Maybe.
A build series. People want a build series. Let us know.
Let us know. I can't build shit, mind.
I'll have you on the tools in 5 minutes. If you want gloves,
I hold the torch. That's the kind of person I would be on a build.
you'll have trauma from it.
So yeah,
Hold
it's not
torch.
sure it's worth it then, is it?
Yeah. I'll have you on the tools. We'll get you some overalls. Parts and labour overalls.
It'll be there just for the fashion then, is it?
Yeah.
Fat fashion. Not
Yeah.
fast fashion, just fat fashion.
One off. People go, oh, I'll buy your overalls. Get those crazy people on social medias. Unless you can buy your old shoes. Can I buy your old overalls?
Not going to be a pretty sight.
One used parts and labour overalls.
I'm
Auction.
not even sure I would want it.
You'd be alright. Maybe that's something we could.
Bond
Well,
over.
Yeah. What we put in what?
Yeah.
What do people want? Do like a Boris series.
A what?
A Boris, the Micra.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not let people choose the car. We'll choose the car.
We'll choose the car and the parts. You tell us what order you want them in.
Yeah. We'll build it
I think
in the order you want us to build it.
I think we should build something Jap.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm not against that. Although I will put something Volkswagen on it and not tell you.
It's fine. I like Volkswagen. I got Volkswagen tattoo. It'd be kind of sacrilegious to not.
I'll take all the 12 and 14 headed bolts and nuts out and put the right size in.
As long as it works, I really
Yeah,
don't
that's
mind.
fine. Tired of working on Japanese cars, picking up a 13 and going, it's never a 13. Always 12s and 14s.
Well, mate, I honestly wouldn't know. Wouldn't know. Wouldn't even trust me to check the dipstick, mate.
Maybe that's why you got battery drain. Dipstick's empty.
Check it out there.
I couldn't say. It's not like I'm a trained mechanic. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I better check the voltage on that dipstick.
Has it got good resistance?
What's the lowest the voltage can be on one of them?
On a dipstick?
Yeah.
2.
I think what the charger on it now is saying that the dipstick's about 3.5.
3.5 on the old dipstick?
Should be right, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Top up with some 1020, is it?
Good question.
It's a K20 engine, so I'm guessing it takes K20 oil.
K20 oil, yeah, like
Yeah.
EP3s take EP3 grease.
Yeah. Yeah, because I put Blue Motion oil in the Passat. Just a Blue Motion engine.
Oh yeah.
It's quite expensive.
Actually, good fact for anyone that's watching, Volkswagen sell more sausages than they do cars.
I've heard about that. It's on their parts product list, isn't it? You can get
Yeah.
a vacuum packed
Maybe that's something you could try.
sausage.
Volkswagen also make ketchup.
Interesting fact, not about cars. Do you know that in IKEA, their price is always dependent to make themselves the cheapest food in that city?
Mad.
So their hot dogs are always never the same price everywhere, but they'll be the cheapest place to eat in that city.
So go somewhere that's a cheap city, basically.
Pretty much. And then it'd be even cheaper. For
Even cheaper.
an IKEA hot dog.
Imagine if you had a car store. Like you get a lot of stores in Japan. Like we get Halfords here.
Yeah.
If you drive into Halfords fast enough, you'll come out with a car that looks like it's from a 90s council estate. But in Japan, I see a lot of I can't even remember what they're called, but they just do lots of stuff. A bit like if anyone's ever been to Demon Tweaks, but on steroids. If you had something like that, like IKEA, you get lost. You go in the wheel section, all of a sudden you're sat in a 20-inch rim somewhere and just, where am I?
Like a mediation room or whatever they call, like a sensory overload.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty cool.
the fabric. The Alcantara.
Oh, that would be cool. Right, I think we got some questions to finish off on.
Yeah,
First one for you.
for me.
Yeah. If you owned a race car team, who would your dream sponsors be?
What, a main sponsor?
3 sponsors. Let's do 3 sponsors.
Let's do 3 sponsors, okay.
So you got Main.
Well, you got to pick one for fuel, because it's going to be expensive. It's got to be Shell,
Yeah.
I think.
Ferrari fanboy.
When I say Ferrari, I just trust Shell products.
You trust an oil company.
I
fair enough.
trust an oil company. Let's all hate me for this. I believe they're one of the smaller oil companies though, Shell. Maybe I'm wrong. I think BP's the biggest.
Yeah, BP is definitely the biggest, but I think Shell still make
A lot.
a lot of money.
Yeah. Maybe not Shell. Let's say Shell for now.
I think it's one of those things you just have to pick a devil.
Yeah, pick a devil and stick with it. 2 more. You need tyres.
Yeah.
You can't, that's another big expense that you just don't want to be paying out of your own pocket. Who makes good tyres? Pirelli, Michelin. I like Toyos. They smoke well.
But you had a race car,
That's true.
not a drift car.
Probably Michelin's.
Michelin's. It's a good choice.
Good choice. Volkswagen use Michelin, so it's good enough for me. Third and final. It's got tyres, we've got fuel. What else does a car need? Not me as a driver, I suspect. But
Yeah, but we're just talking sponsors. Like, what kind of people would you want to just dump money into the team? Like McLaren got, I think it was last year, had Huskies chocolate bar, and like that just looked sick on their rear wing.
oh, Cadbury's. Cadbury's, yeah.
What, just to have purple?
Yeah, I love purple, and obviously a lover of chocolate. So I think tyres, fuel, and chocolate, and I'm sorted.
What category are you racing in?
Or WRC.
WRC, so purple, WRC, with Michelin,
With knobbly Michelins and
knobbly Michelins and
And
some Shell fuel.
yeah. What about you? What
That's
are
a good
you
choice.
going for?
Touring car,
Touring car?
I reckon. Just of the wide body, and then I would, for a main sponsor, I'd have Rich Energy, just to
Yeah.
have the black and gold colour scheme.
Okay.
Definitely. And then second sponsor, I didn't really think of it as logically as you, with tyres and fuel, etc. I just kind of thought, oh, who's going to look sick?
You've gone prosthetics, I've gone for what's going to cost me less money to have.
Yeah, literally. But even then, I say that I haven't got much of a choice or a thought about who I would have. I'd probably have someone real, like...
Just a big picture of Jeff Bezos on the side of it. A big Amazon sticker.
I don't shop on Amazon. I hate Amazon, to be fair. I don't know. Just something stupid, I guess. I'd probably have something like Ninja Turtles, or just
Yeah.
some real random, like...
Just something that's no one else has done.
Yeah, just make absolutely no sense, but I think, oh yeah, that look well cool. And then I'd tell you who the last one would be, John Deere. John
But that's
just...
going to take you away from your black and gold.
Black and gold colour scheme,
With
green and yellow wheels.
like a big rip on it. Oh yeah, yellow wheels.
Yellow wheels.
And then like rips in places and then you just get John Deere in it.
Just, yeah, I think that might be the one. As a brand, I just absolutely love them. The colour scheme, everything. I reckon John Deere is
Green and yellow.
green and yellow. It's the one. Thanks
No, thank
for
you.
doing this with me.
I'm excited. Let's see where this goes.
See where it goes.
Hopefully not down the toilet.
I'm sure someone will edit it nice for us.
Thank you.
But if you did manage to watch probably 3 minutes of usable footage from that, then thank you. Give us a follow on Parts and Labour UK on Instagram. Give me a follow on 17th Victim. Give Max a follow on...
Max JG Perkis and Poundbury Valiant if you like clean cars, I suppose.
Yeah, so thanks very much. Thanks for watching or listening.
Till next time.
Till next time. Peace.